All right, let's unpack something that so many successful, highly functioning people are struggling with today. In this explainer, we're diving into a really fascinating masterclass from licensed therapist Sephora Janelle Ray to figure out why, especially for emotionally intelligent folks, dating shouldn't feel this incredibly hard.
You know, if you're tuning into this, you might be feeling this exact question right in your core. Why is dating so hard? You've probably hit a point in your 30s, 40s, or maybe 50s where you're just thinking, man, I really should have this figured out by now, right? You might be asking yourself why all that personal development work you've dedicated yourself to hasn't translated into an easier, more fulfilling dating experience.
Which brings us to what we can call the smart dater's paradox. Look, you're successful. You are highly self-aware, you're insightful, you've gone to therapy, you've read the books, and you completely understand attachment theory. And yet, despite all of this hard work, you still find yourself overthinking, overgiving, chasing clarity, and just trying desperately to make relationships work. You're high-functioning in literally every other area of your life, but love just feels like a constant uphill battle. When we hit that wall, we naturally start pointing fingers. We think the problem is that there are no good matches out there, or our standards are impossibly high, or the dating apps are just an absolute nightmare, or maybe we think we just need more healing and more therapy to become less anxious. But here is the real problem. Even with all your self-awareness, you're still relating to love from a state that has you overworking for connection, instead of simply recognizing and choosing a dynamic that actually meets you halfway. Now, this next truth might actually agitate you a little bit, but hear me out. Awareness alone does not create secure dating. I mean, most attachment advice out there basically just teaches you to be aware of your patterns. But knowing your attachment style inside and out, it isn't a cure-all. You can know your history perfectly, but securely attached people date differently because they relate to love entirely differently.
So here's what actually happens. Because most people have never truly experienced what secure love feels like, they're out there trying to create something they don't even have a reference for. And without that secure reference point, you accidentally end up attracting more sophisticated, complex versions of your past unavailability. It's like a moth to a flame. You spot that familiar dynamic, even if it's wrapped up in a shiny new package.
But I want to interrupt that frustration with a genuinely shocking number for you. 50%. Yeah, 50%. I know when you're endlessly swiping or decoding some cryptic text or getting ghosted on a Thursday night, it probably feels closer to like 5%. But roughly half the population actually has a secure attachment style. There are plenty of healthy, secure matches out there who are wonderful to partner with. The truth is, the dating pool isn't fundamentally broken. Your filter is. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding exactly how that filter of yours works. Clinically, this is called associate relational mapping. Basically, this is the explanation for why we keep repeating familiar, unfulfilling relationship loops. It's the process where your brain creates emotional, relational maps based on old, learned patterns. For instance, if you learned early on that you don't naturally get attention or that you have to work incredibly hard just for basic approval, your brain maps that as your default reality for love.
Think about what this means in practice. Before you even sit down for coffee with someone, your mind and your body are already filtering out the healthy support you're consciously looking for. And why is that? Because your brain is operating on those old beliefs about what is actually possible for you. You are literally wired to miss the healthy matches simply because they don't fit your old map.
So to break this cycle, we have to draw a brand new map. Because, quite simply, you have to know where you're going in order to get there. You need a really clear blueprint for what secure love actually looks and feels like so you can start recognizing it out there in the wild. Enter the SECURE model. Let's walk through this real quick so you finally have a tangible target for what healthy alignment is. S stands for stable. E is for emotionally supported. C means connected. U is unified. R stands for resilient. And finally, E is for easy. And honestly, this last one, that's the biggest shift. When you're securely attached, the relationship isn't this constant, draining battle. It possesses these core grounding qualities, and above all, it just doesn't require you to endlessly overwork. But to get to that easy place, we've got to face a somewhat harsh truth. Your old strategies to get love can actually sabotage love. The very strategies that you, especially if you have a high-functioning anxious attachment style, the ones you created to survive and get attention in the past, those are the exact behaviors sabotaging you right now.
You're relating to life from a state of striving and over-efforting. And from that place, love is always going to feel like a chore you have to earn.
To fix this, we really need a core identity shift. Securely attached people inherently believe three things about themselves: that they are loved, supported, and prioritized. That's it. They don't have to over-effort or bend over backwards to earn these things. They believe this is simply who they are. Real lasting change in your dating life happens right here at this identity level. You have to be someone different to attract something different.
So how do we start shifting that identity today? By adopting 3 totally new expectations, and these are highly actionable. First, expect that it will be easy to get into relationships. Second, genuinely expect that people will want to be with you. And finally, expect the relationship itself to flow easily. Adopting these expectations helps you transition completely out of that state of anxious striving and into a relaxed, confident state of secure dating.
I want to leave you with this really powerful, provocative thought today. Stop auditioning for love and start recognizing alignment. It is time to drop the performance. Seriously, I want you to ask yourself right now, what would your dating life look like if you just stopped trying to prove your worth to unavailable people and simply looked for the easy alignment that naturally meets you where you are? Let that sink in for a bit and start rewiring your map today.